everybody. It's the Hoops Talk.
Hello.
As you can, if you watch our YouTube channel, you're going to see the magnificent Karen wearing one of our branded Hoops Talk masks. So we have a mask now available on our Redbubble shop. It looks great. I love this. I love this so much. You need to take a picture of it again with this background so that I can go ahead and post it up because I have an old picture up, but I think this.
Someone screenshot me. Go.
Okay, hold on. I don't know how to screenshot. How do I do a screenshot?
We'll do that later. We'll do it later.
I'll do a screenshot. I'll do a screenshot right now. Do it again.
Wait,
Okay,
move over so you can see the jersey. Other way.
Okay, we're sorry, guys. We're starting with a screenshot. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so I got a screenshot there. We'll put it up. Hello, guys. NBA tips off today.
Ooh, 7:25.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So we record on Saturdays and, we go live Wednesdays, but I was watching we all watched the tip off and the Sabrina Ionesco and the Liberty and Seattle Storm. Already started off hot.
Match it up.
Yeah.
So hot. I'm so
Sue
excited.
Bird, Breanna Stewart.
Yes. Everything. And then if you are following on social, WNBA Twitter is on fire. All of the WNBA orange hoodies that people are showing support across sports. Both Karen and I have ours on for this show,
I feel bad.
Kyndall, well, you're in Utah.
I know.
It's like 1,000 degrees.
It's at my apartment in LA.
You're okay.
And it's like Hell's Kitchen over here.
Yes,
so
yes.
Yeah.
No,
right.
absolutely. No. You are with us all the way on this energy of the WNBA. It's really great to see everybody just supporting the W. I really love seeing it. I really love that we're part of this support system, and I just want to keep the energy going through the season. And like we've always said, it's double-edged, right? Because we want to make sure everyone's safe. Because I know somebody already might have tested positive for Corona, which we'll get into, but it is very awesome to see the athletes out there playing on the beautiful WNBA court with Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
All of them wearing the jerseys that says "Justice for Breonna Taylor." Say her name. It is. It's great to see. It's so
they walked
inspiring.
out during the anthem.
Thing. Yep.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then gave Breonna Taylor a 26-second moment of silence because that's how old she was when she was killed.
Yeah. It's everything. This sport is everything you want sports to be. So I'm so excited it's back. Just everybody stay safe. I know in the first half, Keia Nurse actually got a rolled ankle, which really, they said that she was in tears. She put her towel over her head because she was in so much pain. So hoping that isn't as worse, as it could be, and she's able to get back because the Liberty is already pretty shorthanded. Everyone is, because of opt-outs and this being the kind of truncated season. So we'll see what happens. But yes, I'm glad to be back on a Saturday. This is going to be us ladies. We, we're going to be rolling, talking about sport. Oh. I wish. We are going to just be rolling into what's happening currently in sports. But we do have, we've booked up guests for August. So August is going to be real good. I'm super excited. Packed. So yeah, that's going to be great. Karen, how are you holding it down in SF? Tell us everything.
I'm so safe on board. I don't think I've gone to a store this week.
I literally spit coffee out of my mouth with that one.
Yeah, sorry. I've been able to start on a screenplay, pay all my, the house is clean. I don't know what else is left to do here.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And Olivia's in a summer session right now, so
Yeah, it's virtual summer camp. I'm too freaked out to send her to real summer school, even though they have
Makes
their
sense.
precautions. They make you sign a contract saying that you're not going to sue them if you get sick with COVID or die.
that's never a good sign.
Yeah, probably not great.
Not a good sign. I mean,
Yeah.
you think about how easily it is to get a cold from these
Right.
germ kids. I mean, I'm sorry, kids,
Yeah.
you're full of germs.
Right. But hey, guess what? The pool's open.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. 'cause
Ollie and I
they're not-
walk
they're not
over and then we
pissing in
look.
that thing, are they?
Hey, chlorine, baby. Studies show the chlorine is good, kills that shit. But it's when people are there and in your face above water. So Ollie and I only go when there's no one else.
I bet.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I bet. Well, it's going to be an interesting summer, and I wish you well, and I hope you don't go stir crazy.
There was a
Yeah.
summer.
I guess
Next week
you're
is
right.
August.
I know.
Unreal.
I know. It's insane.
Mm.
Kyndall, Utah, how you holding it down?
I'm bored too. I watched all of Unsolved Mysteries
Love that.
yesterday.
Oh, the old
Um,
school or the new?
The new one on Netflix.
Mm.
You
There's like
recommend it?
6
Because I'm
episodes.
so sick of everything
I
I've
mean,
seen this week.
I recommend it if you've watched literally everything else.
Okay, yeah, I have watched
So-
everything
Fair.
else.
So if
That's
you've watched
fair.
everything else, go for it. Yeah, I'm bored as well and hot and yeah, just trying to keep busy.
Oh, yeah, I am not bored because I realize my life has been this boring for a while. Actually, I take that back. We do tend to do a lot of like traveling and not being able to do that. I think the other day
Yeah.
I was just like screaming and crying in the apartment
Yeah.
and just saying like we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So I have my moments. I have my moments. And but especially because the surge is happening again in Los Angeles. We're going through another surge, and I know they've been talking about closing down, like shutting everything down, like doing safer at home like we did before. So it's been crazy. We just found out someone in our apartment complex got COVID. They had to send out an email, so that's like another thing. Just like when you think you're at that phase of like, hey, we're going to get through this. And then like you get these major setbacks, and it's not like a setback like, oh, I gained 5 pounds. It's like, oh, I could die. So that's pretty major.
Yeah.
Pretty major setbacks.
I thought everything was already shut down again.
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, it might be, and it might just be essentials, but like as far as like people being mandated to stay at home, like remember when we had that just stay at home mandate? I think that's not happening. But to be honest with you, I have had to stop watching a lot of the news because it's just been a lot, so not to be a downer. I mean, now honestly, like I was thinking the other day too, I'm like, how are we getting the reward of having sports back when our country is surging? But I had to just like suppress it. I had to suppress the feeling. I was like, you know what? I just started, whenever those logical thoughts come in my head, I just start chanting USA. And I get dulled into the way that it is in this country, It kills everything, kills all logic when you just start chanting USA. So I love my country. I'm glad we can do this, but fuck, like, be safe, people. Wear a mask.
I love it. I just don't like it right now.
Yes.
I'm not mad. I'm just really disappointed.
I do, but I don't. But I do, but I don't. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, we're ready here. Let's go into some house cleaning and some updates as we always do. Please subscribe, like, and review on Apple Podcasts and or on Spotify. We're also on Google Play. We're on Overcast FM. We're on iHeartRadio, Pandora. We're all over the place. But if you set up your subscription, or if you subscribe, or if you do your alerts, then you know when a new episode hits, and you'll have it fresh in your listening library. You can hear us. We're also have our YouTube channel where you can see our lovely faces and our virtual backgrounds and see our guests with us in action. And if you set your alerts, you'll know when we're going to be on, and you can catch the premiere, which we premiere Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. West Coast time. And also we premiere on the Good News Radio app, which you can download and check that out Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at The Hoops Talking. Plus, we have a TikTok. It's the Hoops Talk podcast. Our intern has decided to take the summer off, so I was informed.
All right.
Oh, very short internship here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to look up the terms of our internship to see if maybe we have to recoup some hours for this. But yes, he's decided to take some time away from this internship, and he will be 14 on August 1st. So happy early
Aw,
birthday
Leo.
to my little
Aw.
Leo.
What a
Oh, I
Leo.
know. Let me tell you. He's a Leo, and he has me for an aunt. So all I'm saying is, I was talking to him and his mom, my sister, and I was saying, well, maybe he wants to be a rapper, like as a career path. So yeah, so I'm definitely feeding into his showmanship, let's say. It's a very bad idea. I was like, maybe he doesn't want to go to college. That did not get a good look.
Oops.
That did
Nope.
not get,
It did not.
no, it did not fall well. I was glad she didn't hang up on me.
Oh.
So that's happening on our TikTok, but we'll try to do something on that for y'all. So just keep looking. And with that, I think we're ready to go into we're just going to dive right into sports in the age of coronavirus. So we will be right back. And we are back. All
Hooty-hoo.
right. Let's dive right in. So big congratulations to past guest Keia Clarke.
Ooh,
Woo-hoo.
yes.
Ooh. So when Keia Clarke came onto the show, I believe in May, she was the COO of the New York Liberty, and she was just promoted prior to the season tip-off to the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the New York Liberty, and it couldn't be more well-deserved.
So cool, man. So
Right.
cool.
So awesome.
We know
Go
the
ahead.
CEO of the Liberty. I mean, when we start
Mhm.
traveling, girl, it's on. Same time. Sweet.
Do you hear that, Keia? We're going to be giving you a call. But no, seriously, like when she was on the show, she talked a lot about how the Liberty not only was going to be, Barclays is going to be new for them, but I really like the fact that she said, it's not just about moving into the Barclays, but it's also about what we're going to be doing for that community.
Yeah.
All of New York. And I think that's so important, to think about, like, it's not just about you playing there, it's about how you're going to enrich the community as well.
Mhm.
She really promoted the LGBTQ events, the pride events that they were going to be doing, which I think WNBA always like knocks that stuff out of the park. Like they've always done really good job. I love the Sparks one. They do a really amazing pride night, and the merch that they have for that. So I think it's so well deserved. And the picture that she posted, talking about how, she was playing basketball at a young age and then going to the WNBA. And she talked about that journey on our podcast with us. So it was just really awesome to know someone and know like that their journey has brought them to being the CEO of a WNBA team.
It's wild.
I mean, talk about boss.
Right?
Boss. And so well deserved. Like,
Mhm.
you see people getting promoted and you're like, okay, sure, that's awesome. But this person is like, just put the work in and you get to see it. It's very transparent about it. So it's really awesome.
Yep.
And such an amazing role model.
Yep.
So amazing. So
Started from the bottom and worked their way up.
right. It can be done. It
Mm-hmm.
can be. Well, I think a lot of times when you see the success too, one of the things that we're missing is the journey part. Because you're like, okay, here's this person, and then all of a sudden they're our CEO. And so I think
Yeah.
a lot of times people think that you can do this overnight, but it's all these like work. And you can make it. So you just got to be
Yeah.
consistent in work. So
Yep.
big congratulations to her. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also announced Los Angeles is getting their own National Women's Soccer League.
That's so
So rad.
cool.
Yeah.
So rad, right? So
Yep.
awesome. The team's name is Angel City, so it's the Angel City Women's Soccer Team. And
For now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's I don't want to get too much into that because we're going to have a guest on next podcast. It's going to talk a little bit more about that from a grassroots local level that I think will be very enlightening and very interesting. But that said, this league comes with a lot of star power from its investment.
Yeah, support. That's so cool too.
A lot of women
raising
star
women.
power.
Yeah, a lot of women. Natalie Portman is one of the major investors. Olympia Ohani, who is Serena's daughter, is the youngest.
Serena.
So cute. I love
Serena, yeah.
Yeah.
But her daughter is one of the youngest ever investors.
She's so cute.
So cute.
So cute.
I mean, there's a whole slew of women.
Jennifer Garner,
right?
Uzo Aduba, America Ferrera,
Yep.
Eva Longoria, Lily Singh,
Yep.
Mia Hamm.
Then there's 14 former U.S. women's national team players.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I think
all women.
All women except for
for Alexis
Alexis,
Ohani, Serena's husband,
but
he's like strong ally, so he can join.
He's really Serena's husband. Let's just call him that.
That's true.
With this, so this is kind of goes to, I think, the excitement that we have. It's not just because we love women's sports and we love having a local team, because we all going to go to those games. Like,
sure.
as soon as that shit pops off, I already bought a shirt. I'm getting ready. I'm watching soccer. I'm just like, I don't care if, to be honest with you, I don't really have I'm not I'm a huge soccer fan, but if it's, something that I think has a bigger message, I want to support it. And I'm sure it'd be amazing. I can't wait to go to a game with you guys and be cheering this on. And not only that, but just think about the visiting teams that we're going to get to see compete. It's just going to be like next level, right? So not only as sports fans and supporters of women in sport and women in sport that we love this, but this is what we talk about, the bigger scenarios of women owning a piece of the leadership portion, right? Of making that change in the leadership portion, the ownership, which I think is so important. And that's kind of where we've talked a lot about this. It's just that, and we'll talk a little bit later during my hoops off. I have some thoughts on, ownership and how ownership, they put a lot of the responsibility on the players, and they don't do enough from an ownership and a leadership level. And I think our last guest, Josiah Johnson, mentioned this as well. It's kind of like, you're putting the responsibility on the athletes that are majority Black, and so they have to do that, and they're already doing their thing and they just want to play. And where is the leadership? And then also, when the players are doing this work, they're putting in the work, they're being visible, and they're using their platform, and then ownership or commissioners or leadership do something that goes really against what the players are putting out there, then that's when it looks performative.
Right. Super.
That's when that stuff doesn't hold the weight that it should, because you're like, how can you, on one hand, be making these strides from a player athlete, to sell merch, and then from an ownership level, you're not really doing what you need to do because you're thinking about the mighty dollar.
I mean, we see that across industries, why folks have unions, why they protest when their leadership or companies don't want to pay them
Absolutely
fairly. And then, kind of like a reverse of that, society then always too, it's like, there's always this, like, when you want to boycott a big business, they're like, oh, but you know what? You're going to take away, employees are going to get fired and they're going to lose their jobs. I'm like, you guys know that's the decision of management, right? Like, if you don't shop, if they lose revenue, they can keep everyone. They just need to take the money away from themselves, but they won't do that. So they fire people. So let's not get that twisted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's so important. And in thinking of even taking a step back to even bigger picture, when we think about how tyranny works in certain countries, they come first, they come after the undocumented, then they go after uh, Black people, right? Then they go after peaceful protesters, and then all of a sudden they start shifting. People say like, oh, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me, so they don't feel like they need to be part of it. And then what you're growing is actually the erosion of human rights and taking away of freedoms. And that's the case for what you're saying, Karen. It's like, when people start saying like, oh, you're going to hurt the people that are working. Well, you're 100% correct. No, they can pay them. They can pay them and make the right decision. Yeah. So,
I mean, we were talking about this in our group chat the other day, right? About this whole trickle down, right?
right.
And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll just put it right back into the people. It's going right back into the people. How many years have we been doing this? And the CEOs of all these companies are just taking all of that and putting it right into their pockets. Nobody else is seeing it. And we're all still, everybody, all their little minions are all still living in poverty and all that kind of shit. So, like, it's all about greed.
Yeah.
It's all about greed.
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, we need to have corporations. We need, we have these, because we need to have the business for our country, and we understand that. I just think we need to look at it a little bit different. So yeah, so that happened. But, to the point of you're seeing women invest. There are some things, to kind of look at and be like, what does it mean to have a lot of money and access and be able to do this? And how does it benefit? Like I think there's a lot of things that are still to unpack, but for now we're going to celebrate the fact that this is happening. And we're super excited about it. And we'll see, how it unfolds, because there are going to be implications from a local level in the community. And we're going to talk about that with our guest on next week. But just to keep in mind, just because someone has a lot of money and they come in with the good intentions, that doesn't always equal the outcome that could have been better, or, is helping. It's like, do those, like, I mean, not to be like totally a buzzkill, but like, do they live here? How else are they supporting the community? How did they think about the community that was here prior to them? It's like Dodger Stadium. Yeah, we got a brand new Dodger Stadium, but you wiped out one of the biggest Hispanic neighborhoods in Los Angeles to make the stadium. So, I mean, not, like I said, I don't want to be like Debbie Downer, but those are just some things. That's how we have to think about things.
I feel like because it's a bunch of women though, and this isn't normal, right? You're not used to, we're not pretty much every other sports team that is owned by a white man, right? Or was inherited, as a family business and has been inherited. If
like
there's
the
a woman at the top,
like Sacramento Kings and stuff,
if there's a woman at the top, it's because it's been brought down through her family and she got it. It wasn't like she went out and paid for it with her own money, right? For the most part, I can't think of any teams that
just assume,
just straight out bought. But I feel like, and this goes back to the whole like women as president, like, oh, they're so emotional, blah 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 blah. And it's like, well, every fucking war has been started by a man by the way.
Hello. Yeah.
Anyway,
You mean we have more heart?
right.
You're
Like
right. You're right.
I feel like yes, all of that has probably been thought of because it's so many women who, and women in my eyes are just more conscientious and thoughtful when it comes to stuff like that. So
Right.
I mean, obviously I don't know the insides of what happened in those rooms where they were deciding stuff, but I don't know, I just feel like women think about that kind of stuff, whereas men don't. They're all about like, oh yeah, let's go out. And
Right.
yeah, there are some women who are like that as well. Hello, Kelly, what's her fucking name?
Fucking
Right.
piece of shit.
But I don't know. I have this feeling like they like all came together and were just very thoughtful about how they were going to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just, you know, holding
No,
on to
it
that or
looks
something, but I
thoughtful
just
to
feel
me.
I
Yeah.
just feel like you don't have this many women coming together to start something like this, and
Agreed.
maybe we'll see a different side of sports ownership.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Karen.
And I was going to say too, you know, usually you see just a handful of owners, and then people are like, well, people think celebrities are rich, where they sort of are, but most owners are like the 1%, like rich.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of these women, even though that they're living well, still couldn't afford a team on their own. So for them to pull together to be like, we got to do this and be a community about it. I mean, there's something so beautiful about that.
Yeah, I agree. No, I absolutely agree with everything you guys are saying. When I guess now in the way that we want to just we want to make a conversation that that there's going to be like different points of view on this, right? And so I think it's just a good conversation. And I think it's just like good to have in your mind. Like, you know, I love all of this, but I think the conversation is also good to be had, because I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes at least in my career, I see women that are in leadership positions or women that have power. And then to do that, they have taken on the traits of what is so called the like male or predominantly male traits of a leader. And I think that's disappointing, because we can do it a different way. If you have access, if you have money, if you have the capital, if you have then don't do it that way. Don't do it like coming in like a conqueror. We don't need that. Do it a different way. So I think these are good conversations to have. And like I said, I'm super excited, and it'll be interesting to see how this evolves and how they are going to be incorporated in the community. Because one of the things, like, I reached out to them immediately when the announcement went out. And I also reached out to another entity that we're going to be talking about in the next podcast. I don't want to get into it too much. And let's just say the local community that was grassroots, that was here before this Angel City, reached, like, literally I got an email back from them in like a half hour from sending out the email. I have still not heard back from Angel City Soccer League. Look, I get it. We are a small show. We are local. We don't have like this range, but both sides know that. And one side said, hey, you know what? It's worth having even just an email sent to them. So just saying things to look at. So not to rate on the parade, but we're super excited. Angel City, we're super excited. And we love the thoughtfulness, and we love what we're, that, you know what, the fact that we could even have this conversation is the fact that we're seeing this happening. And I think it's really awesome. So that happened last week. Another big time thing, Karen, I think you put this in. You want to talk a little bit about it?
I wanted to do a quick shout out because, you know, the Giants hired their first female coach in MLB history. And, you know, there's been a lot of photos and whatnot of Alyssa Nakken being on field, coaching first base. And there was a great photo of her, I think from yesterday. She's rocking a BLM shirt. She's got her full mask on and she's coaching on the field. I mean, like, that photo in itself is just like history in the making. And I, you know, it felt a little tingle, a little tear, a little happiness, a little proud.
I
so
love that.
and you know, I'm a Giants girl, so happy for that. And also too, I mean, and we talk about it with MLB, just a lot of the teams and players kneeling right now, like, awesome.
Your coach
you know,
is like
baseball's not a predominantly black sport, so
it's a very conservative sport. And
That too, old school.
your coach is extremely liberal, and he kneeled with the team. He's been wearing his mask even when doing like social distancing and doing the interviews in the dugout. He sounds like Bane every time he's on TV. And he put out a statement from his Twitter explaining why he's kneeling and doing what he's doing. Like he is, and he's good looking. So there's that.
You know.
Yeah, no, that last point is so important.
I mean, to have all of that wrapped up in a decent looking dude, it is not bad.
It's definitely thirst trap right there. The SF Giants manager is a thirst trap.
Yeah.
You know what? I did see him speak on it, and I did see him wearing a mask, and he was saying, you know, Black Lives Matter and Black people being murdered in this country is important, and we need to, and he was like, I ain't mincing words. I am saying exactly, and he even mentioned justice for Breonna Taylor. I mean, he was just like, nah, honey.
He went in.
Yes, good for him.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Okay, so the Dodgers, they didn't all kneel, which is fine. You know, you're gonna do. But you know, so they signed Mookie Betts for a really nice
like
sum
the
of
second
money.
highest paid.
He deserves it.
Well, he's like one of the best players in MLB. Like I
Mhm.
think like he's second to probably Mike Trout. But Mike Trout is like a LeBron or a Jordan of MLB right now. So, you know, you just take him out of the conversation a lot of times when you're talking about good players. But so they just signed him and he knelt, you know. So, and I believe his dad was a veteran or someone in his family member is an Army vet. And so, you know, it's like he can kneel and he understands and he gets what the message. It's not about the fucking flag. I don't know how many times I have to say this.
Right.
It's not about the flag. It's not about the anthem. It's about the movement and the respect. And it's a silent, it's a peaceful protest. I mean, there's whatever, like, it's just bizarro to me that anybody would be upset about that. But yeah, so it was really good to hear and see that with the Giants really taking that leap forward in MLB, which is sorely needed. MLB sorely needs to come into the new saga. Also, Becky Hammon was also coaching the scrimmage.
Yes, I remember seeing that too. Woof.
Yeah,
so nice to see her doing that.
Yeah, Pop sat on the bench and she coached a full scrimmage game, and that to me points to things to come. I'm excited.
Why didn't he give her the job when he gave it to Tim Duncan?
I know. You know, I'm split with that. It's either like or it's that, or it's a long game, right? Like he wants to set the foundation for her and do it at a time that's not out of convenience, but because it was like she's ready. You know what I mean? I mean, though we want to think she's already ready, but yeah, it's interesting situation.
Well, I heard he was letting all of his assistants coach one scrimmage. He was rotating, but still, we all know Becky's the best. Come on.
Yeah.
Hello.
Come on, Pop.
Yeah, I don't know why he's dragging his feet on that.
Come on, Papa, don't preach. Okay, let's go.
Well, I bet
just
it's
make moves.
because he knows if he puts her in the spotlight, he's gonna lose her.
Oh, true.
Maybe.
That could be it. Hey, you ain't wrong. Because then they start winning, and then a bigger franchise is gonna want to swoop her up. True.
I wonder though, like Pop. I'm just wondering his retirement and his purview.
Yeah,
he's been there a long time.
He could be.
I know he had a terrible loss with his wife passing last year, I believe, and then he was kind of out for a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not breaking any news here, but those people retire before they die. Okay. It's a real thing. So let's see what happens there. That's a good story to keep following.
Yeah.
You know, the NBA, pops off on the 30th. So we'll see more of that as we are watching.
I think Becky will stay in the Spurs. I think he's grooming her to be the next Spurs head coach.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
folks
throw
are
that out
loyal
into the
to Pop.
universe.
Yeah,
That's
folks
my
are
hot
loyal
take.
to him. So
Yeah.
And why
Yeah.
not be in an organization that supports freedom of speech and
Yeah.
social justice?
Yep.
And, you know, he has done more than any other coach when it comes to social justice, and also discussing it openly with the press, with
Yeah,
his
all the time.
athletes.
Mhm.
You know, him and Steve Kerr, they're always at the forefront of discussing these things in the NBA. So why
Mhm.
wouldn't Becky want to be in an organization that's going to allow her to continue that legacy?
Yep.
You know, I would. I'd be
Well, and
like,
it's supported her this
Yeah.
far. She
Or
knows the players who
yeah.
Yep.
obviously have, you know, all these freaking chads sitting at home have all these issues with the woman, and she can't be in the locker room, and they're not going to listen to her. Well, the Spurs players have done that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
all these players are saying, like, no, that's not true. We respect the hell out of her, and she
Right,
knows what she's
right.
talking about. It's these
Right.
fucking goof offs at home who are like, oh, no, I could never.
Right.
I know.
It's like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Liz, I don't know if you saw on your live when I was like, ball is ball. You know, if you
Mhm.
don't like WNBA watching it, you don't know ball, you're stupid, you're just a lazy fuck
Right,
on the
right,
couch. And that
right.
some guy was like, what? Yeah, right. LOL. I'm like, get the fuck
Yeah.
off your
Yeah.
couch, bitch.
He's all LOL,
Right.
yeah, not. And I'm like,
Like,
what are you
Yeah.
doing right now, sir? You're sitting on your sofa watching my IG live.
Right.
Okay.
His thumbs
Okay.
are tired
On
from
a
playing
Friday night,
2K.
okay.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
a Friday night. I know we're in the pandemic, but there's a lot of other things you could be watching. There were scrimmages going on, but you decided to poke your head into a discussion about the WNBA. Okay.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah.
I was about to put, no one asked for your opinion.
Well,
But again,
yeah,
I
that
put
was,
mine, so I was like,
well, I know, but that's the thing. It's like, and that came up because I mentioned, so I did an Instagram live with Liz Loza, who is Yahoo Fantasy Sports, the NFL. And we did a cocktail and we were talking about the WNBA. This was on Friday. And I brought up, I'm like, it's funny how we get more people that don't follow the WNBA or don't like the NBA that feel the need to comment about it. It's like they just can't
Yep.
scroll past it. Like, mute it, stop following people, don't talk about it, don't think about it, out of sight, out of mind. You know, I don't like bowling, but I don't go and troll bowling leagues. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
I'm gonna
not like,
start.
yeah, and like comment, this ain't a sport.
yeah, I don't like hot dog eating competitions, but I'm not going into like Kobayashi's shit and like trolling him or anything like that. Like, this is like, let it go, like live your life, like go and, you know, and that's the other thing too. It's like, there were NBA scrimmages going on when I was doing my IG live. So if that sir did not think that, you know, he didn't have to be watching this, he could be going. And if you follow Liz Loza because you wanted to hear about NFL, but she has a guest on that's talking about WNBA, you then get out of the live. It's so easy.
Yeah, it's not
Get
that
out
hard.
of the app. You
It's
put
just
your
about
phone
shitting
down.
on women.
It's like,
That's all
why
it
do you
is.
have to be heard?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
shitting on
exactly,
women.
exactly. And actually, you know, if you're not the because Karen did say, if you the schmuck sitting on the sofa, if you're not that person, then
Why are you
so
offended? All the time. Like, why are you offended? This is you. And like, you know, you guys brought up the whole Karen thing. It's not me, so
Right.
I'm not offended.
Right.
I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you know, Karen's such a derogatory. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Right.
It has
It's not
nothing
you.
to apply to me.
It's not
So
you.
I just think it's hilarious because now when I go look at social listening trends around my name, it feels kind of good for a hot second.
Yeah.
You know how long it's taken me to find other Karens growing up? It was really hard.
Now you got
And they were all white girls.
Yeah, now you got a whole bunch of white girls.
Got a whole bunch.
A whole bunch of white girls.
A whole bunch of white girls. But yeah,
With the
you're
cool
hot.
Kate +8 haircut.
Yeah. I had that haircut in high school, though. I have pics. I cut it myself.
That's a real thing. Yeah, but you're right. Like, always got to stick in their nose and always being offended by shit that doesn't apply to them. Doesn't apply to you. Just walk away, sir.
It's like
Walk
an
away.
A-B conversation. See your way out. No one asked.
There you go.
No one asked
See
you.
your way out. It's super easy. So many exits.
So it's online. It's such an easy exit.
So many
No one
exits.
saw your face.
Right. Right. Nobody even knew you were here until
Yeah,
you
right.
Why leave an opinion and fuck it up?
Right. It's because it's just about shitting on women. It has nothing to do with the sport. They probably never even once watched it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the fact that there's women talking about sports and there's women playing sports. It's all it is. It's
And then
all it is.
yeah, and then all these schmucks, there's a Venn diagram of them that probably cry and complain. Why don't girls like me?
Right.
Let's think about it.
Right.
Yes.
Intelligence and wokeness, very sexy. Let's note that, okay?
Yeah, no, and that was like another person jumped in. So this IG live I did with Liz, we made a cocktail, and she said in the beginning of the IG live, I'm doing it with vodka. Like, she was doing it with vodka because she's allergic to gin, and I'm like, I like gin, and so she did it because I was her guest, and so I was going to use gin. And someone right away, some dude popped in. That's vodka. That's not gin. You're making it gin and tonic. It's like, okay,
You know what,
sir,
asshole?
you jumped into this late, and you think she doesn't know that? She's holding the bottle. I was just like, I think I said
she even said it
her
right
fucking
like,
cocktail recipe.
I gotta get the vodka instead. Like,
yeah.
Said it.
Yes. And she even said that. She's like, thank you for mansplaining my cocktail on my IG live. I appreciate it. I'm like, yeah, so we just started roasting him on the IG live, but it's just
I did one of those with Liz a while back too. And she was asking me about fantasy football. And I prefaced it with, I am not an analyst for fantasy football. These are all very hot takes because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
And I said something, I can't even remember what it was, but it was very, very hot take. And this guy is like, oh my God, what an idiot. She doesn't know anything. And I was like, I went after him. I was like, dude, I literally said I am not a fantasy football analyst. I don't know what I'm talking about. Once the IG live ended, he was in my DMs.
Oh my God!
Yes. Yes. And I fucking owned his ass, and he blocked me, and I was like,
because that was some stalker shit. Like, why do you even come chase me to try to think that you're gonna correct me in any way? Disgusting.
Right? I was like, I literally said I don't know what I'm saying. She asked me for a hot take, and I gave a hot take. That's what happened.
God. But okay, first off, it doesn't matter if you're whatever. You don't want to be a fantasy analyst, but you know what you're fucking talking about. Let's be real, Kyndall. Let's not have imposter syndrome.
You do know what you're talking about.
But I mean, like, when somebody's like, hey, give me a hot take, and you give a hot take, and then that person's like, somebody's like, oh my God, that'll never happen. How dare she say that?
Again, who fucking asked you?
Yeah, like, seriously, because I saw someone comment it, and I had said we had joked about it in the Instagram TV, or I'm sorry, the Instagram live. I said, yeah, I don't drink tequila. I know I'm bad Mexican. I don't like tequila. I don't drink tequila, because she wanted to make something mezcal. So then in the comments, someone wrote, I thought it was tequila day today, and I just wrote back, I don't drink tequila. Because I'm just like, what is happening? Like, okay, I'm not saying that you didn't watch it from the beginning, but that comment was put on after we were like hours after the live had ended. So you just didn't even listen. You literally read like the title of the IG and decided that you were going to comment that it's National Tequila Day. Sir.
Reading the headline instead of the meat of the story.
Right. I have an opinion because I read the headline.
Yeah. But then just even that glimpse into Liz's like audience, and imagine all the other prominent women in sports, like, bless their goddamn hearts.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts.
Like, fuck. Like, I mean.
Yeah, that's why Twitter had to, they need to do something. I know they did the mute function, where you can do you can do protected, so it can't be I mean, it's just all these things. You're never gonna like get rid of all the bad apples, but at least have protections for people that want to be on the platform and have these conversations without being like fully having to deal with the scum. It's annoying, but
and they always have like 4 followers, and it's like,
I know.
Out of here, you dork.
Well, that's the thing too. It's just like
no friends,
right?
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's just never going to end. So there you go. But yes, Becky Hammon being the counter scrimmage
You circle back.
Circling back is amazing, and having Alyssa Nakken, I believe it's her name,
I think, yeah.
as a first woman to coach on the field for SF Giants is amazing, and the manager for the SF Giants slipped their strap.
You know, the Bay Area doing it right. Okay, let's remember also too
Some
the
things.
Niners who we've got on the coaching staff. Like, so
yeah, but the Niners also fucked Kaepernick.
Well, yeah, they're
so-
also they can, the Yorks can suck a dick.
But that might have been leadership. That might that's
you know.
Also, I just want to follow up before we move on to our talking about fantasy leagues. On the MLB opening day, a couple of things for that. One, the Yankees and the Phillies played. They all knelt.
Nats.
Every single one. The Nats. I'm sorry, did I say the Phillies? Sorry, the Nats.
Yeah, sorry.
They all kneeled. Dr. Fauci decided he got the first pitch. As Kyndall said, he wanted a social distance.
Social distancing from home plate with that bad play.
Yeah, and then I saw someone else go, he really wanted to make sure no one caught something. I didn't catch anything.
You know what? We love that man so much. I didn't see a single meme pop out of that pitch.
No.
Everybody was like,
I felt bad tweeting that out too. I was like, oh my God,
it was good.
It was good.
It was good. It was good. I retweeted it. I thought it was hilarious. You know what though? Everybody was like, you better shut your mouth about Dr. Fauci. You leave that man alone. He is a saint. He is the best thing.
Yep.
He's gonna save us.
He's gonna fucking save us.
He's gonna save us. So let him, try to flatten that
throw
curve.
it to whoever.
Let him keep focused on, viral infections and in his intelligence. We don't need him to go to the gym and learn how to pitch.
We can't have everything.
He's been a bit busy.
And he's 79, so like
I mean,
the fact
he at
that
least made it.
like
He made it that far. Yeah,
it went.
It went the other way, but at least it didn't fall short.
That's where he wanted it to go,
right?
Yeah, he wasn't. That
was
exactly the spot he had.
Let's just say, though, I love him to death, but I would not want him to drive me in a car. I'd be afraid. I'm like, you know what, Fauci? I'll drive. It's cool.
Dude, I will say he threw it better than 50 Cent's first pitch.
Wow.
Oh, I remember that clip.
50 Cent was facing this way and literally threw it that way.
It literally went to first base. Like, how?
Cent is not 79 years old or the leader or, helping through a pandemic.
Yeah, like what's your gym for?
Yeah,
why do you go to the gym?
He's definitely not old, but he's definitely not curing COVID. So I don't know what his excuse is. That was just not a good pitch.
No.
So yes, Fauci was out there on the mound. God bless him. And then Marisol Castro, she our guest, our friend of the pod, our friend in general, love her to death. She was able to go and do her job, PA announcer for the Mets. She was there. Woo! I could hear her. We're listening to the MLB, so I could hear her announcing. So it's kind of cool. She's happy to be back. Everybody's safe. She did an interview with WNYC where she talked about how it's definitely different, right? Because they don't normally go in through the regular entrance. They have to go through a back entrance, and it's the COVID, they temperature and swap. She can't get near the player. She has to be, everyone's sequestered or in their own like area. Can't like talk to anybody else. And she says like, they do pipe in, as we heard. You could hear the piping of the fans, and they have the cardboard cutouts. So I think it's.
I was going to ask you about that. Did Steven buy his?
No. He didn't buy his. That would have been funny though for Yankee Stadium. But they all have the cardboard cutouts. And she did say like the piping of the fan noise is, you could tell that
weird.
It's not. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
But at the same time, it's like, ambient, but she's like a lot, what you really are hearing and noticing is baseball. So the smack of the ball to the mitt, the bat cracking, like, and other noises that she said that she didn't necessarily would hear before, like a leaf blower or something, blew on. Yeah. So it's like very it's weird, but so we'll see what happens as the game keeps playing. So
it's like
the crack
again. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's
Sandlot.
These guys, total Sandlot.
The crack of the bat is one of the best sounds in sports.
It's so
I agree.
Although I will say they could be bunting and it sounds like it's a home run for every single one.
But I think too, when you're playing, right, you're just like, I got it. You know, it's such a good feeling to crack that bat. But yeah.
Well, it's fun to watch on the TV. We've been watching it, and we watch those games, so we have some, MLB fanship. And the last thing about the MLB, I just want to say, I've decided, okay, this is on me. I fat shame players. And in particular, I'm talking about Pablo Sandoval. That's me. I do this. And I'm bad. Okay.
He's the Latin Babe Ruth. You know what I mean?
Okay, but here's the thing. He's like super athletic. He can jump, like all those big boys, except for maybe what's his name from the Boston Red Sox, who like wouldn't even run unless he threw it. Like he only wanted to do Big Papi. He only made home runs.
Ortiz.
Yeah, Ortiz just did home runs because he didn't want to have to run. That's if he like did anything else besides a home run, he would just be like, I'm gonna call it a strike. I'm not running. I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna walk. I'm not going to first base. It needs to be out of the fucking field, and so that I could just like get in a golf cart and stroll through the bases. Like I remember seeing him.
Okay,
like, he might have a knee injury.
That one, I think he deserves a little fat shaming.
Yeah,
or how about lazy shaming?
He did get shot, so I don't want to like go to. Remember, he got shot. That was like so weird. So I just want to say publicly that I have fat shamed baseball players because also, I'm like, how can this be a sport that with people that are so like fat? And I am going to talk. I had this discussion with my husband and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a terrible person because I've been doing this and I never thought about it. And I'm going to think about it now and I'm going to be better about that and try to, not be a dick about that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Hey, you know what?
Sorry.
That might not be fat. That could be all muscle, Liz. I mean,
I know. That's right.
Flabby muscle.
That's right. And you know what?
Round muscle.
I mean, just because you're a big person doesn't mean that you don't have athleticism. Doesn't mean that you don't have flexibility. Doesn't mean that you don't have the,
Cece Sabathia used to eat 2 boxes of cereal every morning. And he was a big boy, and he cut it down to 1, and he lost like 17 pounds.
Oh yeah, because guys just have to do like a 1degree shift in their food, and then they like.
Wow.
I mean, he was a big boy. You got Bartolo Colon, who goes by Big Sexy.
Oh,
fuck yeah.
He's Bartolo Colon. Gee, believe.
She dropped
when
that
he was a New York
ya.
Yankee, like I was like, big, giant man. Huge.
I bought his. He has it's supposed to be an autobiography. And he literally says, as the story of Bartolo Colon is told by Bartolo Colon, and then you flip through it, and it's literally stories from his teammates on Bartolo Colon.
But it's like I thought it was as told by him.
I know. That's why I was like, does he understand?
The translation, that publisher translated that shit fucked up.
It's literally stories. Like, yeah, there's some parts written by him, but the majority is like short stories written by his old teammates.
Oh my God. I can't.
I want that memoir. I know.
It's really
on the coffee table.
Funny.
You need it.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get that. Oh my God.
I have it right here somewhere.
Oh shit, it's even with you.
I thought I had it next to me, but I know.
Oh yeah, send me the link and I'll put it in our show notes.
It's called Big Sexy.
It's called Big Sexy. Okay, you know what? That's going in the prize pack.
Don't you fucking bring up that prize pack. I will hound you.
You guys don't realize I have a storage.
I will prize pack shame you if you did not.
I got a Bruce Lee Giants bobblehead to stick in that. I got a lot of rando shit.
So. I'll send you Big Sexy.
Yeah. Okay. You better put this together.
It's the cemetery of sports memorabilia. That's what the theme of the prize pack is.
Where sports memorabilia goes to die. The Hoops Talk prize pack. Yes. Yep. That's happening. That's happening. But and I will say that I might slip. So apologies. I don't ever tweet it out or anything like that. I mostly just yell it at Steven. But still, I want to be better. No fat shaming. Although I will say, I mean, if you're some of these dudes are big. So yeah.
I mean, that's how much stronger they are. If they could do 100 push-ups next to their like 130-pound fucking teammate, like more power to you.
You're right.
Jugging around that keg, right?
Literally.
Instead of a 6-pack.
I'm kidding. Okay. Big boys.
Yes.
Get her done. Okay, so I think that's it for sports in the age of coronavirus. I think we're ready. We're gonna move on to our next segment. We're gonna talk about fantasy sports, so we will be right back. And we are back. Okay, so we started this podcast because we played NBA Fantasy, and we actually had an NBA Fantasy League going. I would think that if we would, since it ended, right, and we're not going to start it up again for the NBA, that Zach Dressler would have been the winner of our fantasy, which is bullshit.
I was on his tail there.
You were. So, but we're not going to talk about that because
that's in the past. Didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Yes. Didn't happen. Like it didn't literally.
It's got an asterisk if he does win, right? Just like the champions on this season. Count it.
This is as much as credit as being given to that whole fantasy league. So what we did was we were super excited for WNBA. So we were going to be like, okay, let's join a league. Let's do a fantasy league. So. And WNBA partnered with FanDuel. I only found one other product that I saw on Twitter called She Sports, I think was the name of the platform. And it was odd because, I mean, I love supporting, any initiative that's going to help with the WNBA, but it also it took my information. And then if I actually wanted to play, I had to do a $5 membership. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not about this life right now. I'm happy to try it again at a different time, but I just need something quick because I needed to get our lineups together. So we went to FanDuel. I went to FanDuel because other fantasy apps do not have the WNBA in there. And let me tell you how fucking difficult it was. The whole process was maddening. First off, I signed up. I did everything I needed to do to sign up. And then it's still like, oh, well, we also want to verify that you are who you say you are. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I am who I say I am. So I put in my name, but it wasn't my legal name, whatever, because I didn't change my name after I got married legally. And so I had to put my legal name in. So it's whatever. I don't care.
Wait, does Steven know this, that you didn't officially?
Oh man.
He knows. He totally knows. You know why? Because I'm not about to go to the DMV and the passport and the tax ID. And I'm just like, you know what? AKA Liz Lap.
Yeah. I'll write it out, but it's not official.
Right? You can sign the check to my legal name, but you can give me my respect with my lap name. But so, it's all good. I'm getting paid. So I had to do all this thing. And then I go to invite both of you on here, right? And first I had to set my lineup, but I didn't know if my lineup was set. And then it was set. And then I had to invite you all. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know who you have in your lineup. I don't know if you could use the same people as that.
Yeah, no, they didn't eliminate. They didn't eliminate players that you guys put in your lineup. So I'm like, what's the point of this? What if we all have the same fucking team?
My shit won't let me in because apparently I'm not a real person.
Yeah.
It won't verify my real name.
It won't verify you. And you're just like, I'm texting with you and you're like, I'm not going to go get my license right now. I'm very comfortable in my situation. And I'm like, that's fine. You know how to do it. It's okay.
Yeah. They don't need to know my social and my face and my license number and all that. Sorry.
It was literally like I was setting up a bank account for the very first time. I was seriously, I was going to set up a bank account and, buy a home. I was getting a mortgage, just trying to enter this fucking FanDuel. So I don't know, who you got on your team. I then, I set my lineups and then I sent it over to you guys and I'm like, hey, can you, so I don't even know, I feel like I'm flying blind because I don't know how I'm playing up against you. So then I saw there's a part that says start a league. I was like, oh. So this must be like the free league, like what I'm used to playing on my other. And so I'm going to start it. So I go to start a league and I scroll. It says MLB, it has all the different sports. No WNBA. There was not a WNBA
fuck.
league. Okay. So even if we wanted to do a style where we could each go head to head and we could see each other's players and we do an official draft and we do all that goodness, I couldn't do it because they didn't have WNBA. So then I thought, okay, you know what? I'll try the NBA. No, you have to buy into the league starting at $25. I don't even want to give you $1. I just want to have a place where I can have a fantasy league that's free and fun, and I can be a commissioner and I can shit talk to my friends, and it has WNBA players. Okay, that's what I would like. That's what I would like, and it's so disappointing that this fucking FanDuel is. I mean, it's for sports betting. I get it. I like it. It dawned on me that I'm trying to get this to be something that it really isn't. And I think the WNBA needs to think about what it is they want to be when it comes to these types of apps. Because I'm going to tell you, I was on a Zoom call with Worth, which deals with business, right? They're like a Forbes type of thing. And Kathy Engelbert was on that Zoom. And I got to ask a question and I said, hey, you know what? A lot of people love League Pass. I love it and I will pay for it. Can you tell me what you're doing to update that? Because it's not the best experience, right? And two, what about WNBA Fantasy? Like, not even like the betting portion, but just the fact that we want to play like head to head in a league. And so she did say like the League Pass, they're coming out with a whole new like update on that. And it's going to whole new look, feel, and they're doing a lot more with that. I don't think it's going to be for this season. Obviously it'll be for 2021. But she mentioned that as far as fantasy, they do have FanDuel. And she said those are the partners and that they're still looking about what is going to be a good fit from the integrity of the WNBA. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and that's a fine question, whatever. But then I was like, so what about the integrity of the owners of the WNBA? Like Kelly Loeffler, who's a racist garbage human who made money off of the pandemic. And you give this, very milquetoast, press release about her, but you're worried about the integrity of just making a fun fantasy game for people that like the WNBA that just want to have like head to head and see. Because I'm not going to name the other fantasy thing that we play, but it's just weird.
But like, why is that even a thing? Like literally every other league has fantasy. Why like the MLB is fine with it, the NBA is fine with it, the football NFL is, but like why is that even a what?
Yeah. And why I don't know. All I'm saying also is like everybody knew that the WNBA was having a huge come up. Anybody that looks at projections of what is going to be popping off, if you have people that are in tech that are supposed to be at the precipice of everything that's supposed to be going to be popping off for us in like 2024, then why did you not know that the WNBA was going to be one of the things that could be happening that could enrich your app and bring you more users and bring you more downloads and bring you more revenue? I don't get it. And if they're not knocking down your door, why are you not knocking down? I'm just like, oh my God.
It's just so weird how like us people on the outside and just people on Twitter and general fans have all of these like bright ideas, and the people who are in charge don't listen to shit, and they don't have any ideas of their own. They're just like, and I get there's like money and all this kind of shit involved, but like you could, if you just listen to the people who watch your sport and watch your league, you could learn so much on how to make it better. And it doesn't seem like anybody fucking does that. And it's so wild to me. Like, I feel like us is just like a collective, like the insiders for the WNBA could run the fucking league better than what's being done right now.
I agree
It's
because
so wild.
It's like I don't know. They're so worried about how the NBA how they get people from the NBA to watch WNBA and how they're going to grow new users. And I'm like, how about making it good for the people that do want it, that are subscribing, that are watching? You know, what are you doing for them? That I'm just like, the app is so bad. Like, I have not, like, I want to be, it's like one of the things
the
that
store is terrible. Like everything. Like social media is just the easiest way to get feedback, and nobody fucking uses it. It's so crazy.
Not only that, but like, why is there like a million different places to get a million different pieces of WNBA merch? It's like you can go to Fanatics, you go to the WNBA, you go to all these like other like individual popping up. It's like, I just want a portal where I can see all of the things that I could buy for the WNBA and make a wallet so that every time I want something to go ching, ching, and I just buy it and I give you the money. I will give you all the monies.
Maybe have it in the freaking arenas during games.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is just all, it's so frustrating because it's common sense stuff. Like, even going back to the draft, how we were kind of like, what? Like, you had all this time to make it great, and that's the product you put? Like, just every little thing, I don't get. This is just common sense, easy stuff to make your product better.
Easy. And it's like, do the teams talk to WNBA about product? Like, I know that each team has their own store, but do they coordinate so that the WNBA says, okay, whatever you're going to do, we're going to put it out across? Like, I just feel like the synergy for NBA and the teams feel like they're talking to one another. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's so scattered, and it just feels like there's so much cool stuff being made by players, like on their own, like the collaborations that they're doing, and like Natasha Cloud and Converse, and just, I mean, Nike in general, they have their own spiel stuff going on, but I don't know. I'm just like, what is happening?
It's like that with the NWSL too, because when they started up their tournament, I was like, oh, you know, like, I don't really know all that much about the league. I know a couple teams and the players. So I started going to like each team, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna look up the merch because they got some cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's website is something different. They're like doing it on their own. It's just like every women's league gets the like afterthought, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, by the way, I guess we should probably have a merch page for this team, right? Or like, oh, maybe the team needs a website. Let's throw one up on you know, WordPress real quick or whatever. It's like every women's league just gets this like the like leftovers.
Yeah, and how about, you know what, WNBA, make a link tree and put all the links on a link tree. If it's just too hard for you to like assemble, like, you know, the stores or something, just like one, because I know they have the website, but it doesn't link to everything. You know, there's like, I was just trying to buy another one of these sweatshirts as a gift for somebody, and it's just like, oh, where do I? It was just a lot, and I was just trying to find some merch because I wanted to buy some new Sparks gear, and I was just like, I'm not happy.
It's just frustrating when you can clearly see it, and yet the people who are in charge of making the decisions can't for some reason. It's like you feel like you're just screaming into the void, you know, like.
I agree. And honestly, like, where are the priorities? I mean, it's not like you're running the teams, because the teams have their own ownership and their own management. You're not marketing necessarily each individual team because each of them have their own marketing. You're not doing PR for individual teams because they all, like, every team functions as a small, you know, company within the bigger company. So all you have to do really is look at, like, how do we make a broad swath of all of these entities, one-stop shop for the people that are supporting us. I don't understand why that's so hard.
And where's these big sports brands like Under Armour and Nike that are more than willing to use female athletes and prominent women to sell their shit and act like they're all in support, but you're not going to actually work directly with teams and actually make gear that looks nice that I actually want to wear. Instead of just slapping a logo on some like cookie cutter fitted t-shirt and call it a fucking women's gear, like,
you know, bedazzled in pink and
god, the grommets,
basketball,
the ripped
mesh.
I can't, like,
sequins.
I usually have to buy a men's style because I don't want a V-neck. Like, I just don't want a V-neck. Like, I don't need a V-neck.
I feel like guys like V-necks more than girls. Like, why are we pawning V-necks on us?
Yeah.
Or like sometimes you just want a baggy t-shirt that you can wear to a game, not some like fitted sucking all in, and like you just want to be comfortable when you're at a game. I don't understand.
That's it. I just want to be comfortable. Oh my God. Ugh. Yeah. So I mean, I know we're talking about like the fantasy league, but it all like pipes back into the fact that there's just some user experiences that are so frustrating that they put so much friction to you just wanting to be a fan and watch the game and participate with your friends in the joy. Especially like this pandemic is going to keep us inside for a long time. So the more advantage that you can have to provide a place for fans to engage, it's not Twitter. Like, stop giving Twitter all your money and start giving your own apps the money that you want, and the users and the usage and the viewers and the downloads, so that you can continue making the revenue that you need to, instead of making platforms like Twitter and Instagram have all that monies. I love those platforms too, but you're not doing any service to your own brand if that's all you're doing is giving them money on their platforms. So that's not even my hoops off, but I think that it is important because we play fantasy. We love fantasy. You know, I might go so far as saying maybe we do NFL. I hate NFL. You guys know that, but hell,
I love NFL fantasy.
Let's do it. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Y'all shit.
Yeah. You know what? I'll just be like, my hot take is that I don't play NFL fantasy. So when I make all the bad picks, you can mansplain it to me.
Yeah. My hot pick is called auto draft.
Let's do it. Okay, you heard it here. We're gonna have a Hoops Talk NFL draft. Kyndall, I'm gonna throw that to you. We can use whatever app you want. I have a feeling I know which one, which is fine. I have all of it set up, so it's gonna be so easy. I've already done the onboarding, so literally it's gonna be like wins draft, Zoom it, some beers, and we're gonna get it done.
Perfect.
Well, that's it for the fantasy stuff. I figure we could touch upon that, and I think we're gonna take a quick break to come back with Hoops Off. So it's one of our favorite segments where we get our hoops off and everything off our chest. So with that, we will be right back. And we are back. Okay, time for our final segment that we really enjoyed this one. It's called Hoops Off. It's where we each get 1 minute to go off on any topic or anything that has happened during the week. And Karen is going to go first with her hoops off. So Karen, I've set the timer. Are you ready?
Go on.
Okay, she's breathing. All right. I'm going to count you down and get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so I love the support and the solidarity of seeing my NBA men's rocking their WNBA gear. But if you notice, they're all wearing the same matching orange hoodie. And why is that? There is not enough WNBA gear out there. And even then, when you go into the store, the men's section has more shit. And the women are stuck with V-necks and fitted stuff and grommets and fitted like whatever. And they just slap a fucking logo on there. There's no design aesthetic. There's no thought to it. And even the athletes' jerseys themselves, the women are tucking it to the edges of their bras just to make it look like a more flattering halter look and more comfortability and breathability. And even with the shorts, it's like, come on, man, I don't need to wear garbage bags on my goddamn legs and play ball. Like, hook me up a little bit. And like, you know, like Liz mentioned, the big old sponsored logo, Nike, your logo's there. Give more money. You spend so much money on women's sports. Do more for the WNBA. Otherwise, Under Armour, come on through. You know what I mean? Because the market's open for you. And 70% of purchasers are women. So these women are buying their men gear. So you better fucking start appealing to us, because guess what? Money's going in the trash.
All right. Ooh, you're done.
Shit.
Whoa.
Is that right on the minute?
Oh, right on the money on that one. You are so right. And, you know, no grommets, please.
And these ripped ones. I'm into tie-dye, actually. But the ripped see-through shirt, you've seen that where they print on the... I'm like, you know what? I'm not trying to show my tits at a fucking game.
Yeah,
right. Also, like, I'm sorry, my team is red and black. Why is this in pink?
Oh my God. I was watching this Reese Witherspoon movie and Paul Rudd and fucking what's his face? One of the Wilson brothers. And she was like some baseball, softball player or something. And she was at Wilson's house and he opened up a closet because she slept over. And he's like, oh, don't wear your dress from last night. Wear one of these. And it's like all pink baseball hoodies and gears, every size. And I'm just like,
yeah.
I hate pink. Pink is so gross.
I mean, do better. They're so, and you know, not only that, but like if your XL does not fit me and I have to go to a men's medium, like, you're not thinking of the big picture.
About real women bodies. Okay.
Yeah.
And sorry, some of us have got a little extra hair in the middle with some hangover. I don't need something that's fitted that shows that to the entire
let's
world.
just talk about tits. Period.
Right.
When
I
go
to a game, I want to be comfy with a beer and a hot dog in my hand.
Yes. Agreed. Do better in the shops and online.
And just design-wise. Like, design-wise.
So many.
Come on.
So many.
Adidas, get in the game, too.
Oh, seriously.
Join.
Come on. Everybody. Go to redbubble.com, the Hoops Talk podcast.
And get your get
your gear there,
get
too.
Your goddamn gear
we'll
there,
sponsor a team.
We'll sponsor it. God damn it. Okay, I'm going to go next. Who's going to time me?
All right. I gotcha.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. And go.
Okay, so I say this with a lot of love, but fuck the Yankees and fuck Mariano Rivera. I'm sorry. Like, here's the thing. When the Yankees were kneeling with the Nationals for opening day in Washington, they were not doing performative work. But it looks that way when the Yankee organization then says that they're going to have Donald Trump come and throw the first pitch in the Bronx. Let's just take a step back because one, you know what? He just didn't fuck the country just to start. He was fucking New York from the beginning when he did the Central Park 5, when he had racist practices in his apartment buildings. So he's been fucking New York. So you may think that he's a president or something, but he's already been fucking you. And he don't need to go to the Bronx again to do more damage to the people that live there. And also Mariano Rivera, okay, I get it. You're a Trumper, but this is not the time. You are not it. The man was supposed to be talking about saving schools. How the fuck are you going to do that? Are you going to Sandman them to death? The COVID? That's it. That is it. I had it. I have had it. Mariano Rivera and your jean shorts and your 3 pitches is not going to save the schools from COVID. I don't care that you know kids, like kids, have kids, love kids, know people with kids in your family. That ain't it.
Yeah. No.
It made me sick.
Trump ain't it.
Chat. You saw my chat.
Sorry. I'm sorry if you still support Donald Trump. Bye.
Right?
I don't even give a shit anymore. Come at me. Don't care.
Okay, Kyndall, are you ready for your 1
Oh man,
minute?
I don't even know where to start. I'm so nervous.
Oh my god, it's so exciting.
You're a great writer. You got this.
Okay. I'm gonna count you down. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay, so I tweeted something earlier because all of the NBA are sporting their orange hoodies in support of WNBA, and Kobe's been doing it since like day one. And I tweeted something that good ball is good ball. And if the NBA's biggest stars can recognize that, then you shouldn't listen to the Chads that couldn't even make the JV high school team. So all these little Chads that are sitting at home who haven't even watched a WNBA game that like to hop into the conversation and say that it's not good basketball, it's blah, blah, blah. It's different basketball is what it is. And it's still great basketball. And if the NBA's greatest players can recognize that, then you can sit your little ass down, because just because you played Pop-A-Shot at your fucking little local ass bar doesn't mean that you're an expert on what good basketball is. So watch the WNBA and support women's athletics.
Nice. You came in a minute. Woo! And I totally agree with you on that. Just support it or walk away. Plenty for you to do.
Yeah. Like Liz said, she's not going over on Twitter when there's a bowling tournament and talking trash about bowling as a sport.
I mean, you literally, are you gonna listen to some dude who's never touched a ball just saying, "Oh, this is gross, I hate it," and
Yeah.
who's probably never even watched it, or the guys who are literally at the top of the game in the
Right.
sport
Right.
who are like, "No, this is good ball. It's just different.
Yeah.
They play more dynamic ball. They have to play
It's
it a
all
different way."
Yeah, right. It's all plays,
Yeah.
not
So, like,
around like
their
huge
skills,
strength and ISO.
yeah, like men's basketball, they have the athleticism to like slam jam it and all that kind of shit. Like
Yeah.
some women do, some don't. So they have to play a different style of
And
ball.
let's remember how much more versatile WNBA players are. They could play practically almost any position within their team, right? They're not stuck to like Shaq only being able to fucking play in the key.
Right.
Like,
Right.
they could do it
And
all.
there's strategy involved
for
because they
sure.
can't just throw some giant person down there, give them the ball, and have them just jam
Lob
it
it,
every
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
you have
agree.
to have strategy.
Yeah. Oh no, I absolutely agree. And again, it's just like, if it's not for you, we're not saying it's like, oh, you have to support it because we said so. Don't support it, but don't come at other people that are supporting it. It's just stupid.
If you don't have anything smart or good to say, shut the fuck up.
Right.
You look
Right.
dumb.
And don't come at a sport if you have never watched it before.
Right.
Or can actually play it.
You're or if you can't play it. Like I don't fucking go and comment on like, you know, I don't know, whatever, some shit that I don't know because I don't know about it.
Right,
you know,
right. And it reminds me of this video I saw. I don't know who the woman was, but she was, someone was just pitching balls to her and she was cracking them hard and far.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? And all these
Yeah.
comments from dudes, and I'm like, no one fucking asked you.
Right.
That's the other thing too. I don't remember asking you.
Why don't you start filming yourself?
Chad,
Yeah.
why don't tell me about WNBA right now?
Why don't you go film your morning routine and how you dress? And I'll come in the comments real quick if you want that.
Right. Right.
Talk about, oh, you really gonna wear that ratty ass underwear from 15 years ago, bro?
Right? They're crusty at. They haven't showered.
You only brushed your teeth for 30 seconds?
They're sitting on mom's couch. They've got like stink finger from having their hands in their pants. They're
gross. Stink finger. Kyndall it there.
It is the truth.
I just stay out of it. Or you know what? Watch it and instead of just having opinion before even watching something.
Open in your mouth.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so you can't even sometimes you just put out WNBA and people are like, who cares? LOL. Who's watching?
It's
like,
just about
okay.
shitting on women. That's all it is.
To make themselves feel better.
They've never watched a softball game. They've never watched the WNBA game. They've never watched women's soccer game. It's just all about shitting on women because they're insecure and they've been rejected their entire lives because they're fucking gross.
Yeah.
They're fucking gross.
Yeah. They're fucking gross.
You're fucking gross.
They're intimidated by powerful, athletic women.
We should just create a bot on Twitter that every time some guy trolls women's sports, it just has these canned template responses like, you're fucking gross. And then maybe the profile image rotates from like different, like...
Yes. We'll get Russia on
or Oh my god, I love that idea. Well, look at we just had a little think tank during our hoops talk. I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's like, what's that dog, the racist dog? And then every time someone tweets something,
and
he goes, woof, 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 woof. We could just be like, your retweet comment, you're fucking gross.
You're fucking gross.
And on that note, we want to thank everybody for listening. Please make sure you subscribe and review. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere, RSS feeds, what have you. Follow us and DM us on our social handles. We're on Twitter and Instagram at The Hoops Talking. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. Subscribe, set your alerts, what have you. Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. on YouTube. Also the Good News Radio and podcast app. And hey, it's WNBA, NBA coming up soon, hot and heavy. We will keep you updated on our fantasy league if we could ever figure out what the fuck's happening with that. And, have a good one. And Karen, how do we want to keep it?
We want to keep it sweaty
and petty.
But not gross.
No.
No.
We out.